Welcome everybody to Lift Talk. This is Lift Talk Wrapped. So first of all, Merry Christmas to all of you guys listening. This will be released on... Bro, we had a conversation last week about you interrupting and you've just fucking done it in the first 10 seconds of the episode.
Get fucked,
I'm
Kelvin.
dead serious. You're going to be kicked off next week. Anyway, I'll continue speaking. For fuck's sake, Kelvin. Merry Christmas to everyone out there listening. This episode will be released on Christmas Day. It is currently, the 4th of December. And we're going to do a bit of a recap of 2025. So we've got some yearly highlights in a few different categories. We're each going to bring a few to the table. We'll start off with career. And we'll start off with you, Kelvin.
Me?
Because you want to fucking talk all the time. So you go first. I'm sick of you.
So, career highlights. I think something that I would like to recognize and acknowledge. You want to open your can any louder, Claudia? Or are you?
Sorry.
She's worse than me.
She's not worse than you, but that was bad.
Is
You can have some if you
being
want.
co-head coach. I'm speaking here, Claudia.
Sorry.
Co-head coach at the Asia Africa Pacific Regional Championships with David Hoffman. That was pretty cool to be selected and to be able to not just coach at the comp itself, but plan and schedule like the coaching roster for the team competing there. I think it was at that time one of the biggest teams that Australia had put forth to an international competition.
It was like 50, wasn't it?
Roughly, I think off the top of my head, like 61 or something like that.
Wow.
It was big. And also a big team of coaches as well. But no, that was really, really enjoyable. And we not only brought a great roster of athletes, but also a great roster of coaches. I think we walked away with a lot of podium finishes, walked away with best lifters as well in a few divisions and categories. So that was definitely a highlight of my career for this year. And has got me very, very keen to put my hand up again to coach in the following years at other international competitions.
I've seen you on the list for the applicants for next year.
I did apply, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to declare a conflict of interest and not be part of your selection process,
Oh,
Oh,
no.
damn.
unfortunately. But that's
Should
good.
have asked you to be my referee.
No, I can't. So tell me, Kelvin, what you learnt from that experience that you can actually take back to Australia when you coach your lifters at nationals or local comps.
I think that something that I learned while I was in so at the competition, was being adaptive to how the athlete was performing on the day. I think that was a really key skill that I developed very quickly because at an international competition, obviously you're not coaching athletes that you're familiar with. You can only base it off obviously some data that their coach may have given you, the comp day plan, but then ultimately just predicting or assessing how they're performing on that particular day. And yeah, that was really key and very instrumental in being able to identify what position we could potentially get that athlete into, how many kilos they had left in the tank for their attempt selections. And I think from that experience, it's definitely helped me get better at picking numbers for my own clients. And also some strategy as to like, okay, should we drop the opener or should we change the opener, push the opener potentially to try see what else you have left in the tank. So strategies like that, I think, moving forward, take them forward to national competitions or even local competitions back in Australia.
I feel like the more I coach people at competitions, the more that I realize that comp day ends up kind of being the average of what you expect. All coaches will write a competition plan and the top end goal will be like best day possible scenario. And I think, when we go to coach people, we're kind of often always thinking about that biggest number, like always thinking about like, okay, my goal is to maybe squat 270 in your case for your last comp. And you're thinking about doing that. And then more often than not, you have to pull to sort of the middle of the range and sometimes even to the bottom of the range. That's something that I've learned a lot. And that even when other people give me a comp plan, I'm always thinking like, okay, is this top end going to be realistic? And I'm looking out for that top end during warm-ups and during the first attempt and second attempt, not just sort of at the last minute.
and not just physically but mentally as well. And I think, especially for international competitions, for a lot of people, they don't have that much experience competing internationally, so they don't know how their body's going to respond to the flight there. A lot of people also, in my opinion, get quite excited when they're there. And what I mean by that is, as soon as they land there, especially in Japan, going off to 7-Eleven and checking out Himeji Castle and stuff like that before
Doing
they
like
compete.
20K steps.
Yeah, and doing a lot more steps than what they're used to in training when they're sort of training back at home. So definitely being adaptable to how they're actually performing on the day and not being so hard stuck. I think that was something that I'd already known, but in competition over in Japan, it just made it even more clear and more obvious that that's definitely something that you need to keep an eye out for when you're coaching.
And that is something like that I will always recommend people to have is you don't have a competition plan that's like set in concrete. Everything that you have is flexible, whether it's up, whether it's down. It usually ends up being down. Like the reality of the situation is that people actually usually end up performing a little bit below what your expectations are. And being able to read that and pull back and know when to pull back is like a really, really valuable skill.
This is a bit sort of side tracking from this conversation that we're having, but something that I wanted to mention was the coaching, the standard of coaching in Australia, I think is very high.
Really, really good.
Compared to what other things that we'd seen. And I think that the coaching team in Japan, everyone was on the same page. Everyone had similar ideas on like how things should play out. No one was going like, oh yeah, he's good for like plus 20 when really that was not realistic. So I think that everyone in Australia, the coaching in Australia is definitely very, in my opinion, very commendable. And I think that over the past few years, it's definitely matured and developed really well.
I think we're very lucky to have the team of coaches that we do have in Australia. Like I remember at Worlds, there was a girl being coached by her dad.
Like from another country, you mean?
From the US.
Oh, yeah.
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 And like that's like totally fine, but was it putting her in the best position possible?
Yeah, everyone that I've met and I know who as a coach genuinely cares and wants the best for the athlete. They want to be able to show up at their best for whoever they're coaching, even if it's not their client. And that's something that I saw consistently when we were in Japan, and something that, I think we should be proud of as coaches in Australia.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been around for a lot longer than both of you guys, and I'm old.
Okay.
And back in like
Elderly.
2015, 16, you'd go to a nationals and you'd have a lifter up against someone, and if their coach didn't know what was going on, you had this huge advantage. And we actually found like more often than not, there'd always be one lifter in the battle who would make a mistake. And that just doesn't happen anymore. And like particularly in the last 5 years, coaches are just better at just understanding the rules, understanding like when they need to pull the trigger, when they need to pull back, when to change attempts, what to change attempts to, how to use chips, all these kind of little things. When lot numbers are going to be an advantage, when it's not, like all these kind of little things. When 8 years ago, like people would routinely lose national championships because their coach would make a mistake. I remember one year it was junior nationals, and this lifter who was in second place pulled ahead to go into first, with first place still having a deadlift to come. But they needed to change their attempt to then beat that person who had just gone. But they put their attempt change in like 5 seconds too late. Like bar had been loaded and then the coach handed it in. And obviously they didn't accept the attempt change. So the lifter had to come out to a lift that was 1.5 kilos less than what they needed to win.
Oh.
They came out and got the lift, and it was actually pretty comfortable. Like they definitely would have gotten 1.5 extra kilos and won. And I remember being in the crowd with JP, and we were like, oh my God, how could you possibly make this mistake? I think this was 2016. And we were like, how could you possibly make this mistake? Imagine being that lifter. You're coming out to a lift, like third deadlift, national championships, and you're pulling for something that doesn't even move you from second to first. You just stay in second by 1 kilo. Like, fuck. That stuff never happens anymore. And yeah, definitely a testament to all of our coaches here in Australia. Claudia, what was your career highlight for 2025?
Goodness me. Career-wise, probably just building up my online roster overall. I've I've been very lucky to have quite a few lifters join the team, and a lot of people with like their first comps or trying to qualify for nationals, and they've all been doing really well. So I guess overall, and just managing all of that with what I was going through this year, career was definitely like still very important to me, but it definitely had to take a bit of a backseat for probably like 6 months, where I like was only doing like 3 to 5 hours of face-to-face work.
Yeah, too cooked from training and not eating.
I think something that's really commendable though is being able to like hold your ground and be able to build what you're doing right now and just being present. I think that we had this conversation, or John and I had this conversation in another episode, where it doesn't have to be the next big thing. It doesn't have to be like a brand new coaching system or concept that you've developed, but it's actually just doing the work for your current clients and then
And doing it well.
Yeah, and people recognizing it and going, hey, Claudia's actually a really good fucking coach and physio. And people ending up like seeing the results and joining. I think that's awesome. So, good job.
How much further are you looking to take your online stuff relative to physio in the next couple of years?
That's a very good question. I still want to keep both. I think there's definitely a limit to how much physio I can do, given I mean, I do 45-minute appointments. I don't really do like your 30-minute check-in. I'm going to really quickly treat you and give you a new exercise. Like when I treat someone, I'm properly treating them, and that can be quite physically demanding. And so depending on what my goals are in powerlifting and training, I think it's important for me to somewhat just cap that, depending on what season I'm in. So continuing to build up my online roster, because I think that's where my passion like truly lies. But I think being a physio makes me a better coach, and being a coach makes me a better physio. So I never want to get rid of one or the other. But it's just about, kind of finding that balance between my training goals and my career goals, and making sure that they work at the same time.
Totally. Very cool. Well, I guess it's my turn.
How about you, Alex? What's
about
your
you?
career highlight?
I would say this is probably definitely my most successful competitive year as a coach. Had 5 lifters go to Open Nationals, 2 first places, 1 second place, and 1 fifth place, which is pretty cool. Sent 2 lifters to Open World Championships. I think I had a team of 12 at Mega Nats, including 1 national champion, 1 second place, and 1 third place.
Wonder who that was.
2 second places and 1 third place. Sent you to Junior Worlds. Had 1 lifter go to Japan, and having 2 lifters go to New Zealand recently as well, and 3 going to bench nationals this weekend. So yeah, overall, like very successful year as far as like my clients' competitive endeavors, which I'm really proud of, and good job to all of them.
What do you think is the reason why you had such a successful competitive year? If you could boil it down to 1 or 2 things.
I don't think it's anything that I've done specifically. Like there's no like one trick. Like I don't have a catchy Instagram like
Hack.
What's your $1 million hack?
for you. Yeah, I don't have like one of those things. I went on JP's podcast and I spoke to him about this, and the way that he described it was like it's kind of been a bit of a slow burn. I've been around for so long that I've kind of put runs on the board and shown people that I know what I'm doing, which has attracted higher level lifters to come to me. So like a lot of the lifters who, podiumed at nationals or whatever were already good lifters before coming to me. So I can't say I like built them up from the ground, but having that notoriety and that experience and sort of that like, I guess, respect from the wider community has allowed me to like open those doors to coach higher level lifters when they're already at a higher level, as opposed to, intermediates who want to become higher level. And obviously like I have a lot of intermediates like Richie and Charles, Claudia, yourself, a few others who have gone from...
Kelvin, you suck.
Yeah, you haven't won nationals yet. Next year, you'll be on the podium
Maybe
next year,
you should
Kelvin,
fly
don't worry.
home on the Sunday then.
Yeah, I'm not joining the after party.
Yeah, so I think like I've obviously had those intermediate lifters who I've taken to that advanced level, but I think having the sort of proof of concept has allowed me to pick up lifters who are already at that top level.
Self-aware king.
And then I've also had lifters who've done their first comp this year as well. So I think I've had 3 or 4 lifters do their first ever comp this year, which is pretty cool. I like to have like different challenges. Otherwise, work can get a bit monotonous. So it's nice to have people learning from the ground up. And it's also nice to have people sort of at the tip of the iceberg.
Nice.
So we've all done our career highlights for the year. We're going to move on to our personal lifting highlights. We'll just go in the same order. Kelvin, you can go first.
Me first. Thank you.
Just for everyone at home, this is our second take doing this, and Kelvin just made the same joke twice.
I've been waiting for this.
It didn't land with us the second time.
Hey, you guys are laughing this time, so what do we? It's funny.
Laughing at me making a joke about you.
No,
We're laughing at you, not with
no,
you.
you're laughing at my joke. So lifting highlights, guys. I deadlifted 307.5 kilos.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty sick. But
To qualify, too.
to
It was important to
pull
get.
to qualify and total 725 because I fucked my squats
And bench.
and bench because I'm
You
an
sandbagged the bench.
idiot. Well, I mean, I didn't sandbag it
did.
intentionally. The second just moved really slow because I screwed up.
It wasn't
My-
slow.
It was like it looked like it had 1 kilo left in the tank.
I was saying to Claudia, we were chatting while you were actually competing, and I was saying to Claudia, they're gonna go up 2.5, but they should go up 5 or 7.5 because you just misgrews it. Like it wasn't strength hard; it was like just bad hard.
But we were in a position where we were like, "Fuck, we can't fuck this up," because I had missed my third squat at that time.
Yeah,
So-
I guess adding 2.5 kilos in that context doesn't give you a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't worth the trade-off, right?
Anyway,
Of the risk.
play on.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I competed again after 14 months of not competing.
Damn, I wish.
And I mean, comp did not go as well as I'd hoped, but I did learn a lot of things. One being, you shouldn't take 14 months off competing, probably, because you actually do get nervous again. I was approaching the comp and I was like, man, it's like my 12th or 13th comp. I'll be fine. And I got there and yeah, I was pretty nervous.
Well, like you put more pressure on yourself too, right? If you've taken 14 months off, you spent 14 months usually, doing a bit of life stuff, but building up. So you expect to want to try and potentially do better than your last performances.
That is true, but
or
I think
at least match.
I think also I did approach the comp with the mindset of I'm just going to take what's there.
Yeah.
Because I did realize that I was feeling quite anxious and quite nervous approaching the first squat. And it wasn't until after I'd failed that third squat when I actually felt a lot more settled. Yeah. And
Yeah, squats can be scary, but I think
Squats
for
are
you,
scary.
it's like you also had 5 or 6 weeks off training before you started your prep,
Yep.
which makes it harder to get all the way to that top peak that you probably wanted to be at.
yeah, like I feel like if we had another block, it would have been really good. I think that my performance on the day, and not just physical performance, but mental performance and mental, what's it called? Not stability. Mental...
Preparation.
Yeah, preparation would have been a bit better. But, I mean, everything's easier to see in hindsight.
Just in time
But-
for Open Nationals then?
But I did qualify for Open Nationals. I got a second round invite. So, congratulations to Kelvin. Round of applause.
Woo, go us on Team Desperation.
Thank you, everyone. I think I ranked 14th or something, but a whole bunch of other 83s above didn't register. So I'll be at Open Nationals. I booked my flights yesterday, actually.
Very cool.
So yeah,
Are you going to go out on Sunday night with us?
I will stay until Monday, 12 p.m. So I will be going out Sunday night.
Yes.
Beers,
crew.
beers.
Get
You
on the
guys
piss.
gonna race?
Piss in the model, huh?
You guys gonna race?
He doesn't
Race.
He doesn't want that.
Bro,
Oh.
I will not last the night if I try race anyone. Trust me. You do not want me to
Maybe
race.
we should race.
We should not.
Because we both would suck.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we
you guys
go.
can do.
I'll
You guys
go
can do
shot
a beer
for shot.
skull.
Shot for shot.
That'll
with
be
you.
a YouTube short for the Lift Talk short.
You skull.
You guys skull
I'll do
race.
that. Tequila?
I want to actually do a I want to do a team boat race against another coaching team somewhere.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I want to do.
Is
If
this an invitation?
anyone's out there listening, if you got a
Output?
team, output,
Oof.
Performotion?
someone, perf, anyone, let me know.
We're
We'll
losing.
sort it out. No,
How many people do we have going? Like
You only need
11?
4 for a boat race. I mean, we could
Oh.
make it more.
I mean, I
picking
think
our
we
best
have
4.
11 lifters going though.
We're picking
No?
our best 4 though.
Okay. Well, then
Not me.
Not you, Kelvin. Not you, Claude.
not me.
I'm putting my hand up, my own hand
Okay.
up.
But you're not competing.
It's all right. I am the team.
Fair enough.
Dad and the
I
children.
am Process Powerlifting Club.
Oh,
Half of Process. Well,
thank you.
maybe more than half.
Thank you. Oh, you know, I'll just stop doing all of our social media for a hot month.
All right. Claude, what was your lifting highlight for the year?
Bruh.
Bruh.
Sorry. This year's just kind of been a little bit fucked. But my favorite saying is life is too short to be boring. So I spent most of this year half alive, but it was worth it. My highlight was definitely making it to Junior Worlds despite many mental breakdowns. Like at one point I literally thought I was losing my mind. But we made it. I made weight. I didn't bomb out. I also came home with a bench bronze medal. Can't forget that. And I like have the longest arms ever, and I've never actually been good at bench. So
You are good at bench.
well, I wasn't though.
But
I
you are.
wasn't. Now I am. I was bad at it for a bit.
Guess who else is good at bench now?
Yeah, Alex
the
bench
first time
160
ever.
on Monday. Everyone,
Sorry,
just
we'll get there. You keep going.
so
you
my
say about
highlight was
interrupting me?
definitely. What was that?
Sorry.
I waited till she'd actually finished her sentence and then I jumped in.
Yeah, but you did. Yeah, you kind of. Anyway,
Carry on.
yeah, getting to come home with a bronze medal was pretty special. Like, as much as the day didn't go as we planned, I actually still think that in itself was a highlight because I learnt so much. Like, I think it was like my 7th, 8th comp. I've lost count. But that, even compared to nationals, anything like that, taught me so much about myself as a person, as a lifter, as a coach. Like I've never felt that much fight or flight. I've never felt in such a state of fight or flight going out for my 3rd squat. And my dad has talked to Alex about this too. My dad was there and he stopped filming and he prayed to God, even though he's not that religious. And he said, Hail Mary, God, Jesus, if anyone is out there, give Claudia the strength to hit depth on this 3rd squat. And I'm not kidding. I have given that man PTSD. He still has nightmares about it. And Jason from New Zealand, Jason Clark, was like, not many things excite me or get my heart racing in powerlifting, Claudia, anymore. But this one, you did it.
Yeah, Joe Stanek posted on the live stream like, Hazy, I hope you're watching. How's your heart attack or something like that?
Oh, he also posted our jury's loving Australia today.
We don't have to talk about that.
But yeah, that was definitely my highlight, was making it, not dying, and having honestly the time of my life. As much as it was disappointing, and there were parts where like I had massive emotions of disappointment because I basically gave up my entire life to get there. Life isn't about having happy, euphoric moments all the time. Like, life is about, to me anyway, I think it's important to recognize that it's the capacity to feel all of these massive emotions, the lows, the highs, the middle grounds, and like how lucky we are to get to experience those things, even if it's not perfect or euphoric. Like, that's not what we should live for. We should live for the fact that we do get to experience all of these things and learn and grow. And so, yeah, I hope in the future that I get the opportunity again to go to an international competition, because I feel like, yeah, I learned a lot from it.
I feel like that soundbite would be a lot more profound if you weren't wearing a Santa hat right now.
Ho, ho, ho.
But no, that was great. Which lift are you most proud of this year?
Surely squats.
One particular lift. Like one lift.
Bench. I
Which
benched
one?
90 kilos.
Which bench?
What do you mean?
your
In
training
competition?
bench?
My
No,
training
like
bench.
one lift of the year. Which one was
Ooh.
your favorite?
Ooh, my 162.5
Yeah.
deadlift that I did at the last comp.
Yeah, that was sick.
Because at Worlds, it was to pull for 3rd medal deadlift. I pulled 162.5, got 2-to-1 white lights, and then the jury overruled it. And so, yeah, that was fucking heartbreaking. And so to come out 10 weeks later, and yes, I was sitting heavier, but to do it on a platform after like sitting at that body weight for like literally just a few weeks, everything felt different. To come out and get 3 whites at my recent comp and get that lift with like no doubt, no questions, just absolute undeniable comp standard, like that was pretty euphoric.
Awesome. Well, it was a good year for you.
What about you, Alex? Highlights?
So what was it? 7 years since I competed in 83s? 8 years? 8 years. So I went back to the 83 class for the first time in 8 years, and hit a 32.5 total PB in that weight class, which is pretty cool. First ever squat of 3 times body weight or more, which was my 250 at 83 at team champs. We won team champs.
Yeah, that was
How did I
fun.
not mention that in the coaching bit? That was the coolest weekend of the year for sure.
That was
I reckon.
so much fun.
Winning team champs, and lifting as part of the team was really cool. My favorite lift of the year
Wait, can we say it together?
was actually probably my third deadlift from
What?
Power Powers.
It wasn't your 160 bench?
Nah, because it wasn't in the competition.
Okay, but
And my last deadlift PB was 2022. So Power Powers was almost 3 years after that for a 2.5 PB, also down a weight class, which I think is like pretty cool. The 160 bench was sick.
so for context,
Yeah, for context, my shoulder exploded like several times in the last 5 years.
both.
And I actually did bench 157.5 in 2021. So like it was about 4.5 years ago. So 4.5 years between bench PBs. This time I was about 5 kilos lighter in body weight as well, which is cool. But yeah, first time benching 160 ever. Pretty good pause, moved well, really happy with it.
It was like, I wasn't expecting it at all either. I was just on the gym floor and you were loading up the plates and 150 moved pretty good. And then you started loading more plates on it. I was like, oh my God, it's actually happening. It's happening. 160.
Christmas came early.
Yeah.
I did 150 and it was like okay. And I was like talking to Claude, I'm like, I think I'm gonna go 155.
And I was like, no, you got to
And
back
then I was
yourself.
like, oh, then I might be a bit gassed if I do that before 160. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it.
And it moved
And,
really
yeah,
well.
It moved really nicely. I hit it well. Like, my shoulder did pull up a bit sore after that,
but it didn't explode.
but no, like I'm not injured, just a little bit of a niggle. But yeah, that was a really proud moment because of what I've been through. Like, late last year, I had a pretty bad flare up in my shoulder. It was like actually around this time. I think it was actually Boxing Day last year. I benched like 130 and it fucking hurt. And I was like, nah, that's it. Like I think in the moment I was like, I'm not benching for a month. I think it's
You're like, I'm done with benching. I don't want to bench
I think that was
anymore.
my first thing that I said was like, fuck, I'm not benching for a month. And then I spoke to a few people and actually spoke to Jason Clark and he was like, why don't you just start at like a weight that you know won't hurt and just add 2.5 kilos a session? He's like, he actually said to me to do 5 bench days a week and add 2.5 kilos a session until it's like up to a respectable amount and then go back to a normal program. I sort of did similar to that. I did 3 days a week, adding like 2.5 to 5 per session until I was up to like 100. I started at 40 kilos.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember doing the first bench and like
I was
people
benching
looking at
more
me
than you.
and like the whole gym's benching more than me. I'm like, this fucking sucks. And now we're back to up to 160 now. So yeah, good times.
Congratulations.
Proud of you.
That's
Thanks,
sick.
team. What is the last topic?
Personal life highlight.
Personal highlights.
Yes.
Kelvin, you can go first.
Me? Oh, thanks.
Come on, we're going in the same order. You knew it was you.
Personal highlights for this year. I think probably traveling. I've done quite a lot of travel this year. Since the start of the year, I went to Malaysia for a bit, and then mid-year, at the same time as going to Japan to coach, I went to Italy, to the Dolomites. I went to Belgium for Tomorrowland Music Festival. I was in Japan, and then I went to Malaysia again. And then recently I got back from Malaysia. The reason why I've been in Malaysia so often was because I basically run a lion and dragon dance team out in Southwest Sydney. And recently we've been more involved in the competitive side of things. So basically we competed in the first ever Australia National Championship for line dancing. So that was really cool. And then the most recent trip to Malaysia was to compete in a dragon dance championship. So if you guys don't know the difference, a lion is basically 2 people in a costume. There's like a head and a tail. And then a dragon is when you've got 9 people holding a pole and they're all connected in like a skin, like a dragon skin kind of thing. So the most recent trip, we went to Malaysia to compete, and we're actually the first ever team in Australia to represent Australia internationally in that type of sport, in dragon dancing. And basically, due to our performance there, we've been invited to go to the World Championships in Hong Kong in February next year. So that's going to be really, really cool. That's kind of like the worlds of
Is that
dragon
after
dancing.
Nationals?
That is
No, it's the week.
2 weeks before Nationals.
2 weeks before Nationals.
So,
God, you're a nightmare.
yeah, it's going to be an interesting turnaround between that and Nationals.
How long is the trip?
It'll only be 5 days-ish.
That's doable.
It'll only be 5 days. But yeah, from a personal standpoint, there's been a lot of growth with the team, like the Lion and Dragon Dance team. I've been very, very busy with them and growing the team and being more competitive. Being able to represent Australia in other sport is really, really cool as well. So yeah, I think that's a big highlight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Claudia?
I mean, a lot of my personal life took a backseat for like a lot of this year.
You did mention a lot of personal things in your last
Yeah,
section about lifting,
yeah.
about
But
your personal growth and stuff.
yeah, I would say if anything, the highlight for me personally was just getting to experience everything that I did this year and learning from all of that. And like, yeah, just all of the mental resilience that has taught me. I think I will be able to carry on for the rest of my life. And just, yeah, I know everyone kind of, I mean, not everyone, but there is a bit of like shit on discipline. And I do agree with that to an extent. Like I think motivation is still important, but being able to instill discipline when you need to, I think will be an invaluable skill in not just lifting, in everyday life, because life is always full of like road bumps and shit, right? And so like if you have the capacity to lock in and just push when you need to, no matter how you're feeling, like being able to kind of emotionally regulate and just tick boxes, I think will be really important going forward. But it's nice in this latter half of the year, has been nice to be spending more time with like my friends, my family, because that's just as, if not more important than all of the other stuff I did earlier in the year. And they were all super supportive of me doing that. And they would have had to sacrifice a lot for me to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, and you got some travel coming up as well.
Yeah.
Japan.
Well, I went to Canada in January, which was awesome as well with my family. And then I'm going to Japan for a week.
So fun.
Yeah.
So sick.
Very cool.
What about you, Alex?
I think this is my best year as a dad.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're a new parent, well, young children really flock to their mum because that's the one who like fed them and that's the one who birthed them, and they have this like bond that can't be broken, and it's like levels of magnitude higher than the bond you have as a dad for early kids. But I feel like I now have a really nice bond with both of my kids because it like grows as they get a bit older. So like I've really enjoyed my time with them and like getting to know them and just like watching them grow up and stuff. I think that's probably been my biggest personal highlight.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think quantifies being like a good dad to you? Besides what you mentioned, like obviously the relationship and then bond, but how do you be a good dad in your opinion?
I think the biggest thing, and this is something that I really struggled with initially, was like being present. Like I get quite like easily bored and distracted. And when like your kid's 6 months old and they just sit there and like don't really do anything, it's like hard to like find yourself wanting to engage. But it's obviously easier once they're older and you can have conversations with them and you can like play games with them and they understand stuff. You can teach them stuff. But I think the biggest thing is being present and being like available for them and like, you know, them seeing you as someone that they can like trust and feel safe next to and like learn from and, you know, use as a role model and stuff like that.
How do you find managing that on top of being an online coach? Because obviously being an online coach, you kind of have to be available to your clients as well. And then committing time to training and then doing face-to-face. How have you found balancing that?
So on the days where they're not at daycare, it's very hard because like you're with them all morning and then I go off to work to train and have clients or whatever, and there's not of time for anything else. On the days that they are at daycare, like today, for instance, I have time to do a podcast. I have time to like get back to my online clients and stuff like that. So I think it's mostly around scheduling and like this block of time is with Milo, this block of time is with Summer, this block of time is, you know, doing programs, this block of time is my training, this block of time is my face-to-face clients, and like just having those separations in time. That's the best way to balance it. It's like you're not, and this is something that part of the issue I had with being present is that I would want to be available for my online clients, but I was also with Summer or Milo or both of them. And then I'm kind of like doing a half-assed job of both of those things at once. Whereas I think it's much better to just pick one and do a really good job of it and then move on to the other one when you're finished with the first one. So that's the main thing is like, yeah, locking in those periods of time to actually have a task to do.
Like compartmentalizing.
Yeah. Not trying to do everything all at once.
Which for business owners is sometimes hard.
Yeah.
Because you're always wanting to do more.
Yeah,
right?
and there's always something to do.
Yeah.
And like,
There's always something to do.
and like a lot of the tasks that no one would know that you didn't do are the ones that always get put off. Like, you know, you maybe have a tax bill to pay or you've got like content to make. No one's going to notice if you haven't put up any content, but you will know that you were supposed to film content and post content. So yeah. We're going to move on to what did we learn in 2025? What's one lesson that you learned, Kelvin?
Oh, man. One lesson that I've learned. Put myself first.
Oh, I love that.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I think that the first half of 2025 and I don't know, in the past few years, I've put a lot into my clients, put a lot into other people, and put a lot into trying to make things work for other people and for the people around me because I wanted to show up for them. And what I've come to realize is if you're not filling up your own cup first, it's going to be very hard to fill up the cup of other people around you. And yeah, it definitely took me a lot of challenges and a lot of pain to realize those things. And I think for a long time, it was kind of just being put aside because I wanted to be present or wanted to show up for other people because I thought that that was what I was responsible for. But yeah, I've come to realize that first and foremost, I'm responsible for myself. And I need to make sure that I'm looking after myself and giving myself time to just do my own thing and be me before I can actually do everything else for everyone else. I think it's hard for me though sometimes because of the roles that I play, whether it be as an online coach or with my Dragon and Line Dance team, because a lot of it is serving other people. So I think over this year, I've learned to not feel guilty that I am not being fully present with either my clients or for the team.
Or like feeling productive all the time.
Yeah, or in that current period of time, knowing that like I need to give myself time to reflect, to settle, to chill before I do anything else. I think that's been my biggest learning.
I like that. Claude?
I mean, I've touched on a few life lessons already, but
Yeah, you got deep early.
I actually would say when you do hit a bit of a mental rock bottom, for me, the power of positivity. Like I think in today's day and age, like it's really easy to kind of complain or whinge or feel hopeless. But we actually live in like one of the best times to be alive. And so the way that you view situations, if you are constantly looking at the negatives, you are only punishing yourself. Because there are so many positives to so many things that we as humans, like we're naturally trying to always like optimize and like become efficient. And so we always notice the things that are wrong. But if you actually switch it, like I even sent something to Alex the other day that just like came up on my feed, and it was like, try being positive for 24 hours and see how it feels. Like try every single time something annoys you, try and think of something positive and notice how much better your mood is. And I think particularly when I was starving and sleep deprived by choice, I think like reminding myself of that was really important. And even when I feel like overwhelmed by either training's going a bit crap or, you know, my work or like where I'm going with my life, that can feel overwhelming and sometimes you can kind of spiral. I think, just the power in finding the positive in every single situation because everyone in this room, we are all so lucky to get to do what we do every single day. And I think it's really easy to forget that. So, I think that's something I will definitely be taking with me from this year.
And Joel's especially lucky. He gets to sit here and listen to us for work.
He loves it.
All of you guys listening
every
to
Thursday.
us for pleasure. Joel's getting paid to listen to us right now and paid to edit.
Do you know LIFTALK was actually my number 2 podcast as well?
Lift Talk was Joel's number 2
Really?
podcast.
Joel.
It wasn't
You
in my,
like
it wasn't in
listening
my
to
top
us?
5.
It was not in my.
It wasn't in my top 5 either.
Because I re-listened to the podcast to make sure I didn't stuff up.
No.
Good job, Joel.
What about you, Alex?
Shout out to Joel.
I think I kind of alluded to it earlier with like segmenting the day. And there's something that I do most days is I write down everything that I need to do that day, whether it's like folding the laundry or like fucking taking the bin out or like even stuff around the house. I try and write it down particularly in the order that I'm going to do it. And then I just cross it off as I go. And I always write down stuff that I'm going to do anyway, like go for a walk or like have breakfast. I write that in so it makes me feel good when I get to tick one off.
No, I do the exact same thing.
I feel like that's the only thing I've heard you schedule.
Yes.
You don't have a
ever.
this guy
He
does
doesn't
not have a calendar.
I don't
Everyone.
keep a calendar.
Apparently, he schedules his day, which
I don't
is
keep a
crazy.
calendar, but I write down what I need to do. And
No,
I
this
tick
sounds
it
like
off
a
as I
new
go.
task and a new habit that's
It's not new. I've been doing this for years.
okay.
I have a little booklet that I write. And
Wow, he writes. In
He
the booklet.
journals?
no, I don't journal. Like on Monday morning when I do my
Wellness
programs,
king.
I'll write down everyone's name who needs to have a program update. And
Wow.
I'll cross them off as I go.
I actually think
But
that's
yeah,
a
I
really
think
important habit.
Splitting up the day so that I don't forget stuff is really necessary for me because I will often forget the stuff like doing the laundry or like, taking the bin or whatever. Or I might forget that I have a podcast. I'll quickly write it down. I've got a podcast today, cool. Or I have to write a podcast plan, which I didn't do today. I was like, you don't write a podcast plan? Yes, sometimes I do. That's probably the thing that has helped me a lot this year is like making sure that I'm writing down my tasks.
Mm.
What about 2026? What are we looking forward to? What do we got planned? This is the last section, by the way.
Promise, guys. What am I looking forward to? More traveling.
Where are you going to go?
Hong
Melbourne?
Kong, obviously. Melbourne for
Melbourne.
Open Nationals.
Woo.
I've got a trip to the US planned.
Oh my God, fun.
Yeah, I'm going to the EDC.
amazing.
Hopefully some sort of international powerlifting comp.
Hopefully, yes, fingers crossed, comms. And I want to try coach at Masters as well.
Hell yeah.
Which is in Nevada. So traveling, which has been obviously a big part of my life already. Also, hopefully competing internationally. Also, hopefully coaching internationally. And yeah, just being more present, being more myself and more growth and more prosperity.
More Kelvin.
More Kelvin, more me.
Hell yeah.
My own podcast, maybe. I'm taking over.
Yeah, because you're going to get booted off this one.
Nah, by choice, I leave.
Mutually parted ways.
Yes,
Kelv
it's mutual.
talk.
It was mutual.
Kelv
Yeah.
talk
Mhm.
coming soon.
Claude?
I think next year, honestly, my brain hasn't really gotten that far just yet.
Oh, it's so fair.
Yeah.
One week
Open
at a time.
Nationals tick box number 1 in Melbourne. That'll be heaps of fun. Then we'll most likely have team champs in June, so back to Melbourne.
Sure will.
And then I'm actually going to Europe for 3 weeks.
What? Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to Cyprus because I've got a big fat Greek wedding for my cousin.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we're going to France and Italy.
Sick.
You were considering applying to
sick.
coach at Worlds, weren't you?
Yeah, we will
Before
see.
Dubai.
Yeah, because it's like I'm flying via Dubai and it's in Dubai.
Oh, so the time is going to match up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
like,
sick.
but it also depends with like team champs. I don't know. I just need to like figure everything out and how much it's going to cost. Unfortunately,
Probably
that
quite
is
a
a limiting factor.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
So yeah, what about you?
I'm really excited for the continued growth of Australian powerlifting.
Hell yeah.
which is fucking lame.
Why are you laughing?
You guys gave really cool
No,
personal
sorry.
answers, and I gave some lame one.
That's cool.
Kelvin doesn't actually like powerlifting.
We've
everyone.
like progressed so much since APA started. Like just our presence at every international comp, our nationals are getting bigger and better. Like local comps are getting bigger with stuff like Power Powers and Team Champs and Grand Prix and Night of
SPD Cup.
Champions and SPD Cup and like all the cool comps that are run by different gyms. That stuff's super exciting. I'm just excited to see what people do and the growth that lifters can make and the growth that clubs can make and the growth that meets in general can make. That one for sure. I'm excited for the Houston Rockets to be in the playoffs again next year. And if they make the second round, I'll probably go to the US and go watch.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Sick.
So hopefully they make the second or third
You're gonna go
round
to the
and then I'm
US?
gonna go- I'm going to go watch the boys if they make it far enough.
You can take the kids.
Absolutely not. I'll go.
By myself,
I'll go
solo.
Solo trip.
I'll go with my dad.
Oh,
Nice.
cute.
That's nice.
Yeah, last time the Rockets were in the playoffs in 2019, I actually went and I watched them lose 2 games and get eliminated, which was terrible, but it was a good experience. So yeah, I'd like to go over again and see them in the playoffs.
Sick.
But that relies on them actually making it far enough.
Actually, just building on what you were saying about the growth of powerlifting, that actually does excite me too, believe it or not. But the other thing is also running more meets. I definitely want to get more involved in that next year. Meets in City Strength, also seeing how Meganats turns out because it's being held in Sydney again. I can say that, right?
Are you
Yeah,
even-
that's been announced.
That's
Are
been
you
announced.
even here?
Don't get in
though,
trouble this
Kelvin?
time.
Aren't you
Um,
away again?
Oh shit! Actually, I'm away a bit, like the latter days of Meganats, but I'll be there for the setup and the whole prep for it, which is going to be really sick. But yeah, I'd love to run some cool meets here at City Strength, depending on what John Greta say. But
What are we going to do for SPD Cup? Can we say anything?
no, I don't think we can say anything yet.
Top
Top
secret.
secret.
Yes, but it's going to be pretty cool, bigger, better, and
Not
funner.
here?
Ooh, TBC.
Okay, we might have to cut that out. You could beat me.
Beep, beep, beep.
But
Yeah.
yes, hopefully Hesbity Cup will be bigger and better next year, which is going to be very exciting as well. I think, yeah, what excites me is could I say like back end stuff of powerlifting?
Yeah.
I don't think, yeah, like the back end, like the meets and stuff like that. I think helping the sport actually grow by running things like that is very
Yeah.
exciting. I
Because
think
it
that's
is
sick.
growing.
It is.
And it's
facilitating that
exciting.
is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a new process for the allocating the head coaches for each of the internationals, which I'm part of the interview committee for, which is another thing I'm looking forward to. Should be fun.
So are
We've
you
had-
going to interview me?
I will be involved.
Can you let me know what the questions? Let me know what the questions.
I'll do that.
No, that's okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope you have a lovely Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
and
Merry
a
Christmas.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Ho ho ho.
We will have
Shut
an
the
episode
fuck up,
for you
Kelvin.
next week. There's me announcing it so that I'm putting the pressure on us to make sure that we record. No break, Joel. We will see you guys next week. And ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ho 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 ho. Ho 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 ho.
the fuck up. He's hurting my ears. And take the headphones off.
Please post that.
That is so fucking annoying. It's like my kids being like repeating the same thing over. Dad, fucking what?